Thanks. So Rod's story made me think of this on the marathon. I used to run them myself, but I grew up in Boston, and back in the day I drove a cab. It was a hot summer day. I was driving down Beacon Street right along the marathon course, not marathon day, but really hot. And I had my windows down in the cab, sweating, and I get hailed by somebody on the sidewalk. He sticks up his hand. He's very tall. He's got a little poodle on a leash, and he's got very short shorts on and a tank top. So he's an unusual looking character, but I pull over in my taxi, and he comes to the curb with his poodle, and he says, "Hey, can you give me a hand?" And I said, "Sure, what's the deal?" He said, "My girlfriend has thrown me out, kicked me out of the apartment. I need some help moving. Can you help me out with the move?" So I think, well, yeah, I'll give him a hand, and maybe angle for a good tip, help him move his stuff. So we go into the lobby of the little apartment building, and there's a TV and some lamps and stereo stuff and books and kitchen stuff. So he carries one thing. He's got the poodle in one hand, and he's carrying out the toaster, and I got the TV. And then we go back, and he carries out a book, and I've got a bunch of stuff. So, I don't know, 4 or 5 trips in and out of the building. I'm thinking, I'm going to get a good tip out of this, right? Into the cab we go, and he lives on the other side of Beacon Street, down about 3 blocks. So we get down, we make a U-turn, come back on the other side of the street, and now we repeat this, right? Everything's got to get carried back up to his apartment, which is on like the 3rd floor. So I'm carrying the heavy stuff. He's got the light stuff. Once everything's unloaded and into his apartment, I notice as I'm bringing the stuff in, he's already got a lot of stuff. I don't know why he's taking the stuff out of her apartment. He could have left it for her. He's got a TV. He's got a couple of TVs. Anyway, the fare was about $6, and he gives me $8. He gives me a $2 tip for all this work, and it was a hot day. So that was my first mistake, right? That wasn't the big mistake, because the next day when I'm driving my cab, I get a call to come back to the garage. And when I go back to the cab garage, there are 2 men in suits waiting for me, and I say, "Sorry, I got a call back." And they say, "No, we called you, Brookline police detectives. We want to know what you know about a breaking and entering on Beacon Street yesterday. The witnesses saw you loading the stuff from the apartment into your cab. They got the cab number." So, I thought, well, wait, not me. I'm just driving the cab. So I take the detectives, and we go back down to Beacon Street, and I show them the apartment, and they get a warrant, and eventually they arrest the guy, and I go to court 3 times, and he pleads out, and I never did testify. The bottom line is, you got to be careful when you're driving a cab who you might pick up, and don't help anybody with their moves.